Hello everyone, we're here with another Modern League. This time I'm refining the Case of the Ransacked Lab Storm deck that I was working on, well, I guess it was probably close to a month ago at this point. But in that version, we were playing a purely blue-red version. We were focusing on heavier interaction, no bears, no gifts, slowing down Storm, but keeping it more interactive. In the time since then, I've had the idea of splashing white. So Reprieve is just better than Remand if we can support the white cost. And Remand is good, I think, but Reprieve is just better. It can deal with uncounterable things, and that's definitely relevant against Yawgmoth with Halfling or Grist, or Halflinging out Grist or whatever. It's also potentially relevant against, maybe like a Cavern of Souls, Titan. It could be good. You can reprieve a Titan. So there's definitely space for stuff like that. Prismatic Ending also in white gives us a little bit a bit of space to splash in some more removal. And then in the sideboard we have Silence. And I was originally playing a version of this deck that used a couple Fire Ices as interaction. And so that led me away from Jegantha and onto Kahira. Now, Kahira, especially with the land base and the fact that we're playing like Reprieve Bolt, we look like Jeskai Control for the first several turns with Kahira. So there's, I think, a decent amount of bluff value to be gained in playing this. The rest of the deck, I've tried to diversify away from Spikefield Hazard a little bit. Jawari Disruption is like that 104 spike that just gets people. Valakut Awakening, I think, is interesting potentially as a tool during the combo turn. Let's say you've drawn a bunch of cards with the ring, but they're all kind of bad because they're like lands and like prismatic endings when you need like rituals and stuff. Well, suddenly you Valakut Awakening them, reduced in cost by Case of the Ransacked Lab, and now you have a handful of gas. So I think Valakut is kind of interesting as a one-of. It was a way to get a semi-business, semi-land spell in. At 17 lands, I feel okay with it, but I feel like it wouldn't hurt to kind of squeeze in another land in a way that we can. In the sideboard, Silence just generally good against like blue decks or against Cascade decks. Born Upon a Wind is sort of an interesting piece of tech, I think, here. It lets us go off on our upkeep in response to the ring killing us. It's playing a sort of similar role to like Angel's Grace in like a ring ad nauseum style list. It also potentially lets us win on an opponent's end step against control, or even do something like flash in the One Ring in like combat or on an end step if needed. Fiery Inscription is sort of our sideboard juke in situations where maybe Case is not at its best because our hand is going to get shredded. Then we just like play Fiery Inscription and we try to play as a control deck that is incidentally killing our opponent over time with this Fiery Inscription. So that's the idea. The list is definitely still a work in progress. So I would encourage anyone's input. If you have ideas, I'd be happy to hear them. I will continue to iterate on this going forward. I do also have several other things that I, like to bounce between as well. So it probably won't be the next thing I do, but upcoming up would be, I want to do some more Legacy, so maybe Doomsday or TES. I probably also want to mess around with something in the Adnos/Spoils space again. So that's also on the radar. Leave it a little bit more time until I come back to Twiddle or Mill again. So that's the rotation that we're kind of in right now. If you have any other decks you're interested in seeing, I would also be interested potentially in playing those, as long as they are some form of combo or combo adjacent deck. I don't really play creature combo decks, so like I'm not really a Yawgmoth person. But like spell-based combo decks are definitely what I prefer to play. Okay, so let's get into round number 1 and see how this goes. And we're here with round number 1, revealing our Kahira. Let's see what happens. We have a decent hand. We have some removal. We have Case. Spikefield as our second land is good. I'm going to lead on this Thundering Falls. Spikefield is more of a giveaway, although this is going to be a giveaway because I don't want this Pyretic Ritual. And sometimes that can't be helped. Don't like overplay the fact that you're masking what deck you're on to the point where you end up losing or like playing a bad card because of it. Don't place tapped Breeding Pool. Okay. That could be a lot of things. Steam Vents is a decent pickup, but I'm going to play the Spikefield so that we can potentially turn or play this case next turn. I'd like to be able to hold up interaction, but I don't know how realistic that is. We could potentially ritual out the case, and then if we draw like another ritual or a Morphos Bolt, Tavern. Okay, so... Oh, Blue-Green Merfolk. Okay, so we do have bolts for days, so that is very good for us here. They're revealing a hex catcher. So all of these scouts are potentially force spikes, and we just want to keep the board relatively clear. I don't think there's a 1-mana Flash Merfolk, even in blue-green. So we're just going to get rid of that now. Flooded Strand is a decent pickup. So we probably... Oh, 1 mana. I don't think that they would have like a Mystical Dispute or a Spell Pierce or something like that. They could theoretically have Force of Negation, but I think I'm willing to risk that here. Okay, it resolves. And the only way we really get punished here is if they have like a Sphaloon. Otherwise, I can probably bolt whatever the play is and then hold up Reprieve for their next play. This feels like maybe flashing in Hexcatcher. But let's see. Okay, so we do have a bolt. So we could potentially turn on our case here. I'm going to pass the turn, and then if they take action on the end step, I can... Oh wait, no, it'll be passed when they can bring that in. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, there wasn't really the opportunity for us to turn the case on then. That Reprieve works well here. We are flashing in a Tidebinder. So I'm going to let that go and then bolt it afterwards. Got no reason to let that live. We do need to either kind of find a couple cantrips to string together in order to make this case a bit better, or find a copy of the One Ring to get some card advantage going, because we are kind of starting to bleed out cards a little bit. Past in Flames would also be acceptable, although not the most exciting. So we can get our white-blue Surveil on their end step. And hopefully, again, we're looking, really, I feel like we're looking for like a Preordain. What ring? Okay, we definitely take the ring. So we'll take that. And also they burned a Tidebinder, so that's even better for us. So I can play Ritual Ring and still have Reprieve plus Bolt up. So I like that, and that is what I'm going to do. This feels like maybe a Tidebinder? No? Okay. So we can draw here. We actually should have waited. Okay, but it doesn't matter. And we can't trigger this case this turn anyway. We only have 3 spells. I mean, maybe if we were to draw something with the Reprieve. But I'm just going to save this Reprieve to use it defensively. If they flash in the Hexcatcher, I will bolt the Hexcatcher on the end step here. And then we're holding up Reprieve for whatever the next Merfolk they play is. They've been relatively slowed down, so I'm not 100% sure what they really have in their hand if they haven't already played it. Is it another Hexcatcher or something? Trickster. I think I just want to keep their stuff off the board as much as I can. So, I mean, yes, this does get let them untap and then do something next turn. We do have another ring. We're drawing cards with this ring. I'm not super worried about Tidebinder. And again, yeah, we're just keeping the board here. Preordain is a pretty good pickup. It lets us try and go find an answer to whatever we need. We're just going relatively tempo positive here. Well, like yeah, with like the reprieves, we're honestly kind of tempoing out the tempo deck. Tide Shaper. They could kick and take out our Meticulous Archive, and then we wouldn't have white mana. It's really not a big deal. I mean, maybe it will be if I like drew a prismatic ending, but we did trim down to 2 of those compared to some earlier versions of this that I was running. So I think the odds are not that high. And we're just, playing as the control deck here. 3 feels like it could definitely be a Tidebinder. So I'm probably going to preordain before that, just to see if I can find something interactive to defend this ring activation. How do I feel about Grape Shot Pyretic Ritual? I think I will keep these, because then I can activate the ring. And if they Tidebinder it, I have Ritual, Ring, Grape Shot, wipe their board. If they don't, then I drew Grape Shot. Ooh, Past in Flames. That's a nice one. All right, so I'm going to Ritual up and go for the Past in Flames here. Now I could Grape Shot first. I think I do like that. It's kind of free too. I mean, the one thing is, if I Pass in Flames and it gets countered, I can play another ring. But do I need to play another ring this turn? I don't think I do. They're certainly dead regardless, if I get access to my graveyard. So I'm going to take out this Tide Shaper with 2 of these Grape Shots, so that way, if something goes wrong, it's just less pressure on the board. And then we have a Pyretic. We pop this out a little bit. Have a Desperate Ritual, another Pyretic Ritual, another Desperate Ritual. We have Bolt their face again, and they concede. Okay, so we get game 1 over Merfolk. Their hand was definitely on the slower side, no Aether Vial or anything like that. We know that they had a Tide Shaper in their hand, but we kind of just had all of the removal, so we just played like a control deck for the beginning portion of that game. So we will take this Brotherhood's End. Silence. I'm not completely sold on that. Ending we definitely want for like 1-drops, even 2-drops, Vial, anything like that. Ace is good. Ring is okay, but they do have Tidebinder. I think it's still reasonable. Spell Pierce is not what we need. Echoing Truth, Fiery Inscription. I mean, Reprieve is maybe not at its best here. I could think about an Echoing Truth or something like that. The thing is, what do I really want to cut for that? Probably nothing. I think we're just maybe going to do this. So let's see what our opponent has in store for us here. Maybe if they have turn 1 Vial and we have ending for it, that would be nice. Okay, I mean, we do have a couple cantrips, Bolt, so, Morphoses can be whatever. I'm okay with this. I think there's definitely stronger hands that we could have, but definitely this too. We do need to use our cantrips to find some sort of engine, whether that's a ring or whether that's a case. Either way, it doesn't really matter. We may also need to fish for lands a little bit more. They do have the turn 1 Vial. And we do draw the ending for it. Wow, okay. I mean, we're a little bit lucky there, but I mean, we put them in our deck for a reason, so we will take that out. A little pause there. Questions, do they have Force of Negation? I think probably not, but maybe. I think you do force that. Well, maybe. It depends on the texture. Oh, they had a replacement vial. So they could have Force and then a replacement vial. That's very possible. They're playing Cenote Scout. And they reveal another Cenote Scout. Okay, so they're drawing another Scout next turn. We do have the Bolt lined up for this one. Get another. Okay, no, we don't get another. So we can play Tarn. I like fetching for some sort of blue source. Probably a Steam Vents. That can then play this Preordain. We do need more mana. I'm going to bottom both of these. I don't think those are what we need right now. And then I'm just going to, again, bolt the Scout now. Keep cards off the table. They could have, like, well, I guess they wouldn't use a Hex Catcher to save the Scout, but maybe they, like, untap, they have Hex Catcher, they violin another Scout, they use the second Scout to save the first one. I'm getting clocked for 3. That feels worse to me. Put a Scout in. And they show Spell Pierce. So do they have a follow-up? A land. They look to be passing. Spell Pierce is not super scary. Reprieve is decent. So here I have the ability to reprieve, consider. I may cycle some of these Metamorphoses first, just because I need to do something with them. So they're playing Trickster. I am going to fetch an island. The island walk doesn't matter because it's not like we're blocking anyway. As far as leaving interaction up, I think I need to leave up the Steam Vents. So we'll play Amorphos. And I think we're going to use at least 2 of these. Ending is okay. It's something to maybe stem the bleeding a little bit next turn. I think I'm going to use all of these Morphos. I really do need to hit some sort of something that does something. And then we'll go ahead and reprieve that. Grape Shot, I mean, could be worse. We do have Consider on their end step here. Maybe make them think we have a Bolt though, so I don't see a reason to play this yet. Another land is needed. I think another land actually has to be the main priority here. Or slowly bleed. Question here is it a Lord? Maybe it's Lord and then hold up Trickster. Okay. And Grape Shot can be good against this. They want to sack a creature to stop my Consider. I'm totally okay with that, so I don't need to play this Consider before the pile. I think that's probably a win for us. They do. So, all right, let's Consider. Ring. Ooh. I mean, I don't know if I have the life total for that. I do need something like that. Grape Shot. I am going to keep it. I need some sort of business, and I don't think I can reliably count on finding the one Past in Flames. So I think we start by Prismatic Ending on the Scout. Let's see what they do. Okay. So they're going to flash in the Trickster. We potentially could Grape Shot the Hex Catcher. And that basically just treat it as another removal spell, sort of try and minimize the damage that we're taking. I think I'm going to point both of these at the Hex Catcher. so that they can't save it kind of no matter what. The 1 damage I think is not that likely to be relevant. And we have Archive. It's because I do want to probably be able to resolve this ring next turn. Pay for it. We're looking for more land, so we're going to get hit to 9. Then we probably resolve. Oh no, they do have a Spell Pierce in hand, though. We can't forget about that. Heretic Ritual kind of helps us play around that, but I think not enough. So yes, they have Spell Pierce and Trickster. So they're gonna flash in the Trickster end step. So we need to maybe line up another piece of removal. Drawing a card, so that's kind of a good sign because it means that they don't have anything really. So we go to 9, they're passing. I don't like that that means they didn't draw another land, so maybe they just have gas. Preordain. I will bottom that, and then if we case, we go to 7. Their attack, but it does eat the Spell Pierce. Ugh. I mean, they actually don't have to Spell Pierce it even. I think we bottom that. Another ring is really not what we need, though. I think it's, I guess it's pass, and then try to Morphos reprieve something, draw a couple cards, claw our way out of it. Second ring is nice because while we're at lower life, we can potentially use the second ring to reset the first ring. But, I mean, I would feel best about. They just have interaction? Other Trickster, maybe? Well, they're going for nothing. Alright, so I'm going to Morphos. And we need to have at least a blue so we can potentially consider. Probably blue-red. Spell Piercing or Morphos, that's bold. I mean, maybe they just have another Spell Pierce. But that's very aggressive. Honestly, I read that as another Spell Pierce, but I don't know if I have an... Oh, I could bolt the Trickster. I was going to say I don't know if I have an option besides playing Ring, but... I think I do, because if they had a Lord, they would have played it. They could have another Trickster here, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. If I didn't think they had another Spell Pierce, I would have played the Ring. Based on how they played that, like, what else do they even have in their hand? So that was a very aggressive Spell Pierce. They're holding up 1 blue mana. They have cards in their hand that are not threats and not lands. And not Aether Vials until now. So what else even is the card? I don't need to remand another or reprieve another Aether Vial. Alright, so we fully expect this to get countered. I'm playing this before I play the Thundering Falls, so I know if it does, then I scry, or if not, and so on. Okay, so they have the Spell Pierce, exactly. Play the Thundering Falls. Do I want to consider? I think no. I think honestly at this point I need to get to my Past in Flames, which feels a little dicey because there's only 1. I actually really don't have that many rituals in our yard either. I just have 1. They're ticking their vials up. And passing? I mean, this could be like a tide. No, it's not. They're still leaving that on 2. I have no idea. So we'll leave up a Steam Vents. That's maybe the most intimidating of individual pairs of mana. Could be Bolt, could be Consider. They have another Spell Pierce or something? Feels like they do, because, I mean, what else could they even have? Oh, they have Force of Negation, Pitch Force. Okay, I'm glad we got that when they only had 2 lands. They weren't able to just tap for it. Question is, what is... Oh, they drew a creature. Merfolk. Okay, so I'm going to get hit to 5. Maybe our ring will resolve, though, and then we have a few cards that we get to draw, and we have to piece together a win off of that. So 1 card. What is it? Looks like another Lord. Could find like Brotherhood's End or something like that, reset the game, kill these Lords. Getting us to 4 is a little not great. We do just have all of the ring. I think, did we draw Runner, the ring for the last 4 turns? If we did, that's absolutely crazy. Yeah, so I mean, we'll take a draw. Play a Tarn. I don't want to have to use that fetch, but I think it kind of doesn't matter, actually, because we'll take 1 damage to 3, fetch to 2, 1 damage from this other ring to 1, so we get 2, you know, yeah, we can get there. Obviously, I can't get a, well, if I can get an untapped blue source. But that doesn't help me play anything, so. So hopefully they just brick a little bit here, and then we can string something together on Past in Flames. Maybe should play another Past in Flames in the board. That's something I have thought about. Alright, so we'll get a tapped Hallowed Fountain. All of the colors of mana. Lose a life to the ring. Draw for turn. Grape Shot is decent. The start of piecing things together. Another Grape Shot. I mean, that is where this starts. The ring. Pay for a Spell Pierce. We'll keep the new ring. Draw a card. Lightning Bolt. I mean, there's a chance. There's a chance. We're gonna have an interesting decision on, do we play this Bolt on end step? Hopefully they play something we can cycle a reprieve on, because this is too many reprieves and Grape Shots. We do need some rituals, really. 2 cards now. Would be another Spell Pierce. Cavern of Souls is a card. We're dead to this ring next turn anyway. I'm a little worried about the amount of mana I'm gonna have, so I'm just gonna Bolt their face here. They Spell Pierce this or something, fine. We're a little low on time, so if we lose this one, we're gonna have to play fast, but hopefully we don't lose this one. Got the ring. Draw more cards. Okay, I mean, rituals are what we need. So let's, I mean, we have to go for it here. I don't know whether this maths, but sometimes when you're in a certain situation where, like, you don't know if it maths, but if it doesn't math, you lose, then you just have to go for it and hope that it maths. I mean, in theory, I could draw 1 bolt off of this ring on the upkeep if I no, but if I could, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't make any sense. We have 8 mana actually, so we do have Grape, Reprieve, Grape, Grape. All right, I guess let's start with a Grape. Maybe I draw another ritual. So we'll let 2 of those damages happen. Morphos would be good, although 3 of them are in the yard, so that feels unlikely. Really, it's gotta be more rituals. Ace is novel. I mean, I could potentially... No, but then, again, yeah, I'm dead on my upkeep. And it's 5, 6. Ooh, did the damage actually matter? Hmm. Yeah, I mean, the damage actually mattered. Had we drawn a ritual or something there off of the reprieve, we would be okay. We're gonna barely not. Yeah, we have 6, they have 8. We could wipe their creatures, but then we're dead to our ring. We can't instant speed a win in response to that. Alright, so they get us here. We're gonna concede, save as much time as we possibly can. We do need to play fast. We're on the play, I like that a little bit better. But I like Spell Pierce better on the play, not really. They're still a creature deck. Born Upon the Wind could be interesting. Like I need Brothers. Well, no, Brotherhood's End is still pretty good. Jawari Disruption could maybe go. On the play, though, maybe I wanted as the land. Reprieve could maybe. Reprieve is really not at its best here. Fiery Inscription. I mean, maybe. If I bring in a couple of these, trim like... Honestly, maybe I can bring in more of these, and I just play as a control deck, and we trim like Case. But I need Valakut away. Although, again, it's a land. Honestly, maybe I just trim all of the cases, and we just go Ring Inscription. Try to get an inscription down under their whatever they're doing. This is not exactly great, but we do have turn 1 Spike Field, Preordain, we have Past in Flames in hand, bunch of removal. So I will keep it. It's better than mulling. I'm going to lead on the Spike Field so that I can bolt whatever the turn 1 play is if I need to. Like if it's a creature and not Vile. I'd say if land Vile, I think they will, yeah, they mold to 6. Alright, so we pick up a Consider, that's not bad. We're looking for another land, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Do I want both of these? Honestly, maybe. Yeah, I'll take both of these. Just keep developing our mana while we're controlling. Then we have Past in Flames to get there eventually. Long run. Consider is going to need to look for like Ring though, probably. Okay, so they've got a Scout. It's exploring. Force and Negation on top. We'll bolt this. Let it go. Feels a little bit like they have a Hexcatcher that they don't want to toss into that. Did I miss something, or did I put a Mystical Archives on top? Oh, apparently I put it on the bottom. What's that? Okay, my bad. So Preordain. Yes and yes. Flooded Strand. We have another land on top, so I'm not going to crack this Flooded Strand and Consider. I'm just looking to potentially bolt a Hexcatcher, although maybe next turn we actually just save, or we save it, and then next turn we go for a Bolt, Consider, Grape, and try to wipe their board a little bit more. So they do have a Force of Negation, remember. Let's see what they go for. Is it a Lord? It is a Lord. Okay. Going for the attack. I think here I'm going to go for a Bolt on the Lord. I don't want to bolt the Trickster and then have them flash in another Lord. Alright, so we know it lands on the top. We do need that, so we will take that. So we play the other land. Now we have a couple different options here. One is we know they have a Force Negation in hand. So we could just jam the ring and have it eat the Force Negation. Hope they have nothing left after that. Figuring we're just trading the ring for 2 cards. Another option is we go for Consider, and then we go for Grape. Now, ideally, I would like to find another spell first, because I don't want them to flash in a Lord, and then mess up my Grape Shot for 2 on the Trickster. So if I were to do that, I would want to find another land. Other option is just pass, get some tap lands for the Surveil, and Consider. If they had a Lord, they probably would have vialed it in, unless it was their food for Force. They could have like another Trickster or something like that. I think I'm going to Consider here, because if I find another spell, the upside feels like it's reasonably high. Okay, yeah. So now I can like fetch probably a Hallowed Fountain to get the white, even though it costs me some life, and I'll probably get the other basic with the Flooded Strand. Okay, Pyretic Ritual seems like something we... I'll get a basic. And now I get to take out this Trickster with the Grape Shot. And even if they force one, it doesn't really matter. In fact, I would love if they would force the... Okay, what do they have? X-Catcher? Try it. Yeah, but I mean, you picked the wrong time, because now I can point both targets at Master. But they could force one now. It didn't. Alright, so I mean, they had the Lord. Maybe they have a force. But they do just have a Trickster. We're not under that much pressure. I mean, they do have the force, but maybe they have it with the blue card, I mean. Will we draw running rings again? Maybe. Who knows? Okay, so now they have force up because they have the land. Flooded Strand. I think we just have to run this into the force. No other way around it. Then maybe we can make something happen with like Pyretic Ritual Past in Flames next. Ooh, they let it resolve. What? They have Tidebinder. They didn't Tidebinder that trigger. I'm just gonna wait here. I'm not sure what that was. Feels like Tidebinder then, but did they get rid of the force and we didn't realize it? They just clicked too fast? I don't know. It's a strange choice. Alright, so I'm going to fetch here. This could also be Tidebinder bait. Thundering Falls, get the Surveil. We will take that. Tidebinder? No. Okay. Draw. Scalding Tarn. Okay. Tidebinder? Still no. We have the interesting question here of I don't want to run this Past in Flames into the Force Negation because that's my only way to access my graveyard, and I already have a Grape Shot in my yard. I do want this Lightning Bolt on top. I actually think I maybe do burn Ritual Grape, kill the Trickster. I just want to preserve my life total because this ring is going to be a problem quickly. And I don't want to run Past in Flames into... So, yeah, do this. Hit it for 3 just in case there's a Lord. Oh no, there's no... Well, it could be like a Hex Catcher. Alright, do they have... I mean, I think if they had a Tidebinder, they absolutely would have played it. They could have Svalin. That would be a little bit scary. Yeah, okay, because now we're getting clocked for 3. They're drawing a card. We could be in trouble here. Bolt on top is not going to really do a lot against Svalin. Master. I mean... This does mean that, like, our Spell Pierces are alive for shutting down the Force. We're going to take 4 here, go to 6, go to 4 on our turn from the ring. I didn't want to, like, pitch the Svalin to the Force, but I mean, if we can hit, like, a reprieve, we can maybe fight our way through. We do know we have a Bolt on top, so we can take out the Master with that. Okay, I mean, that's interesting. Okay, that's very interesting. So we have 7 lands. Well, 7 once we play one. So if we were to Past in Flames, they force, we reprieve. They can't play it again. We're down to 1 mana after the Past in Flames, so that doesn't work. So I need this Morphos to find a ritual, I think. Blue, red. We get a redraw. Red, blue. Fiery Inscription is not going to do it. And maybe they just let the Past in Flames go. Guess it's worth a shot. Maybe they don't have a blue card, but I think they definitely have a card. Maybe they figure they get our card after the flashback, which I mean they definitely could do. They let it go. Shocking the Steam Vents. They just not have the... I don't want to get too hopeful yet. Oh my god, they don't think. Have it. I guess they maybe hoped to draw a blue card and just didn't. Those. Get red, blue. Bolt. Does this work? Yeah, we bolt. Grape. Grape again, and I think we just got there. Now, I think our opponent definitely made some mistakes, but I mean, we played to our outs, I guess, and we won. I mean, I'm pretty surprised. Maybe they just figured they'd draw a blue card. All right, let's jump into the next, see how it goes. So for round 2 here, our hand is pretty decent. We have case, some lands, removal, and ending, a preordained to help us with a little bit of selection. Pretty happy with this. Peat land. Is it Yawgmoth? No turn 1 play. If so, Ritual's a decent pickup. I feel like I want to save the preordained till I know what I'm looking for with it, and then probably just fetch a Scryland or Surveil land on turn 1. It could also represent more, maybe I represent that I'm holding up like a bolt or something. Passing again, okay. I'm going to get, I think, the Thundering Pulse. And I don't think I need no Aura. Wandering is a decent pickup. So we're going, oh, they could have a Bowmasters here. I want to play Preordain into Bowmasters. I could also just get Case out. That feels somewhat valuable. Like, not valuable enough, though. This does really feel like a Bowmasters. I think I'm just going to maybe, like, play a tapped Steam Vents pass. If they play the Bowmasters, next turn I can, like, ending it and then play Preordain or something. No? Okay. Herborg. Sure. Wrist. Phyrexian Crusader. Alright. Section from red and white. Can't deal with that. It's Black Ring Infect, I guess. We do get to ritual out a ring. Question here is, do we try to live one turn and play case? Because if we can, then we are in better shape. But if we can't, yeah, I think this is tough. I guess we could ritual Morphos case. What does that really do for us? It just shows them we're on Storm without really keeping interaction up. But if I ritual the ring, what is my game plan here? I think it's just going to be play case. And if they kill us, they kill us. I don't see a path to winning this game by ritualing out the ring here. I think we're going to need this cost reduction. We're a bit light on lands. We need to be doing several things. So we need to be winning by the time our rings are done, basically. Maybe we can bluff like a Force of Negation. Get them to like not go for it into a spot. Okay, 2 Infect. Another one. Alright. This is what happens down here in Brewland, I guess. A Desperate Ritual. Falcon Awakening is an interesting piece. I'm gonna see what we do with that. Maybe wait to decide. Ending is so bad here. Preordain. Do I want both of these, or do I just want? I mean, I want the Pyretic, so that's my 4th spell. I think I do want the island, so I'm gonna put top. I'm gonna Pyretic. I'm gonna play the ring. Draw a land. Play the island. Play Valakut Awakening. wheel our hand. Do I want the ring? I might keep the ring actually, but I'll get rid of the prismatic endings. Reprieve is a decent pickup. You can preordain, and I will top both of these. So we've solved our case. We have a reprieve in hand if they have anything scary. We're set to go off next turn. We have the ring protection also. All right. Well, hopefully set to go off next turn, not guaranteed. Draw, Desperate Ritual, our card, get some mana, draw some more cards. It's really not the best draws. Spike Field Hazard. Let's see what we draw. Consider, okay. Consider, see what we draw. Reprieve is not what we need. Draw Paretic. Still responding to the Spike Field Hazard because there's a chance I reprieve the Spike Field back and then play it as a land, which would be pretty funny. Paretic is going to happen. We're going to bolt them. Here we're probably on the Reprieve Grape plan. So the bolt's going to happen. 5. I could Spell Pierce my own Spike Field and then Grape Reprieve Grape. Actually, I could Spell Pierce my Spike Field. I can't quite pay for it. Depends on what I draw, though. So if I Spell Pierce the Spike Field, that's 5, that's 6. Grape would be 7, but only 6 of those would deal damage. Reprieve would be 8, and then it would be 9, so it would be 15 damage. So it actually wouldn't get there. However, if I go for the Spell Pierce on this and I miss, I can also just play the ring. So that could be worth it. I need to draw like a Morphos or a Ritual, basically. Bolt? Does Bolt do it? I think it does. Yeah, because I can Bolt. Not pay for it. Yeah, because now I can Bolt and then Grape Repeal or Grape Reprieve Grape. Oh, Morphos is even better. Make an extra white. White and red. So we have an extra layer of protection here now. Draw our card. It's like we can reprieve something that they play, or double reprieve our own Grape Shot if needed. Paretic Ritual's a decent pickup. Get that so we can continue chaining, and then we have the Grape Shot. All right, so we win the round against Black Green Infect. Definitely a brew, but I mean we're kind of playing a brew too, so I mean really complain. I mean, Cleansing Wildfire would take out Ink Moth. That could be nice. Echoing Truth is decent. Born Upon a Wind would let me try to win. Response. Silence. Most of that pump is instant. I feel like I'm not as into that. Fiery Inscription could be okay. What don't I feel like I need? I mean, Spell Pierce is good. Ace, Falcon Awakening maybe is not the most critical. Prismatic Ending was very bad there, but it could be very good depending on what they have. I don't need the Born Upon a Wind. This is probably not really a Past in Flames matchup, but maybe. I want the inscriptions over Case. I think maybe, because really I'm the control deck, right? So, I mean, Case can be that, but Inscription also sort of just slowly kills them while I interact with their creatures. But if I need to race, Case is better, and I may need to race because I really can't deal with Phyrexian Crusader. I'm gonna... Trimming Ending feels bad, but our Reprieve seems not the greatest here. I do not like Trimming Ending. Oh, it is still a counterspell, though. Doesn't hit Crusader. I don't know if they have like Glistener Elves and stuff. I think they probably do, and we just didn't happen to see them. We cut like, I guess let's cut a Valakut Awakening. Maybe we cut. Oh, I'll cut the. It's pretty important. Cut a Past in Flames. Cut a. We cut one. I don't. Yeah, we'll see what they have, and maybe they have something different this time, and they kind of punish us. I'm not exactly sure what they're playing. It's a brew. We do have the ending, so let's see if it's good here. We have Reprieve that could buy us a turn with Crusader, maybe. If they play like a 1-drop, we're going to snap fetch a. What's it called? Okay. Well, that's actually a 1-drop that. Yeah, I think we do need to slow the game down, though. Okay. So our turn. It's an interesting question, though, here of do I get. I do get Hallowed Fountain, actually, because I think there's a chance I need more blue mana. Alright. So, what's their follow-up? Inkmoth Nexus, okay. Maybe have to play this Jawari as our land, which would be a little bit unfortunate. Okay, so we can play Scalding Tarn. We can hold up either Reprieve or Jawari, and if nothing happens, we have Consider. We also get a Surveil land. It's important to note that when you're dealing with Consider and Surveil lands, you should really be... I'm not going to... You should really be playing the Consider before the Surveil land, because if you Surveil something you want to the top, then the Surveil on Consider is kind of a waste. So that kind of goes against like usual protocol, but I think it is definitely correct. Here we can get Thundering Falls. Put that into the graveyard. Okay, a Tarn. So I think we just chill here. Yeah, don't really need to do anything too crazy. They get to attack for 2, but maybe on the end step we go for a bolt, depending on context. It's a poison counter. I think I'm more interested in bolting this now before the Tox Priest resolves. If they save it, then I can potentially Jawari the Tox Priest. Or token that creature. So the other option here is now I reprieve this. Sacred Foundry. Reprieve that. Can't play it this coming turn. Kill the Glistener Elf. And yeah, and so we do need to kill this Rot Priest. But that was, and we do know they have a protection spell in hand. But besides that, I think that's a relatively good exchange. And lead on a Preordain, looking for something that does something. Spike Field is... I don't think Spike Field is good enough, because we really do need to kill the Rot Priest. We also need to kill the... But yeah, I really need a card that does something. Ari? Yeah, maybe I hold up the Jawari, play Odawara. See what they do. I need, like, the ring, basically. They just had the world's slowest hand last time. I don't really know why. I was like, maybe they don't have 1-drops. It's just kind of stupid. Alright, so they have an Ignoble. I mean, Ignoble's not good against Rot Priest, really. Because it just does 1 damage anyway. They could get us with normal damage, actually, because we're actually taking more damage than we are, in fact. I'm going to just cycle at least one of these Morphoses. Ooh, a Bolt. Alright. Pass out of that. More rituals. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and cycle this other Morphos. Make like a red or something. Be red. We like bolt cantrip. Flooded Strand. So if we bolt the Rot Priest, they can't defend it here. Get a poison counter, we kill that. We know they have a protection spell plus unknown hand. We pass. We hope the Jawari can like stop them if they go all in. Fetch another Surveil Land and we try to hit the ring. A common theme in these games, hitting the ring or finding the ring is pretty good. Maybe that's because the ring is a pretty good card. So we're going to take 3 Infect here. Ah, Tainted Strike, sure, that's not that scary. Just +1. We could easily be dead here because they just need a +4 and then we're... Projectile growth is +2. They have their 1 protection spell. Alright, I mean, that's going to happen. Okay, so I mean, we know what their hand is. Get an Archive. Scry. Oh, yes. Alright, that's exactly what we need. That's our chance. What am I going to leave up as far as mana? Probably a Thundering Falls. It feels like the most likely to be relevant. Draw a card. Cleansing Wildfire is kind of... Oh, play that as a land. Right, I mean, what do they have? We know they have the 1 protection spell. Plague Stinger. Okay. Could just Grape Shot this whole board if we find a Grape Shot, which would be kind of cool. We could Cleansing Wildfire their Overgrown Tomb to take them off of... Oh no, they have the Ignoble Hierarch though. Okay. They do get to protect 1 thing. But 1 thing will actually not kill us. Unless they draw a Pump Spell. So we go to draw. Draw some more with the ring. I mean, that's a start. Consider. Ooh, okay, so I could get another ring. Yeah, I mean, I'm into chaining rings. So next turn, the new ring represents 3. Old ring also represents 3. So I think I'm going to keep the new ring so I get the extra card right now. Like 1 this turn, then 2 next turn. So it represents 3 either way is what I'm saying. No one preordain. Spikefield Desperate Ritual. I mean, we've got all of the rituals. Spikefield. I think I'm going to bottom this and try to find either another grape or Echoing Truth. That's a card. If I had to, I could maybe go for the Wipe Their Board line, but hopefully I don't have to. I could also Echoing Truth my ring and replay it. Or we just draw another ring. Sure. Oh, no Bowmasters. That'd be a little rough. Alright, we can preordain. We can bottom. Do I need Echoing Truth? I should actually math this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's and let's say I took both of these. Cleansing Wildfire draws me the island, and then let's say I draw the Echoing Truth. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. And then 2 of it is spent on Wildfire, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So I get 2 truths, Bolt, Wildfire, 4 rituals. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spells before the Grape Shot. The Bolt will do 3, so I do not have enough damage. So I think the way to do this is to bottom the Truth, top the island, play the land, play another copy of the ring, continue to probably infuriate our opponent. Again, this represents 3 next turn, so I'm going to take this one. And Cleansing Wildfire to kill their Ink Moth, I guess. What is their thing, though, that they have? I don't know if that thing actually... Oh, alright. Cleansing Wildfire, kill the Ink. Oh, yeah, I'll kill the Ink. I really maybe should have killed the Overtomb. Ace is not what I... Yeah, I think I just shipped the case. And then I draw after the end step, like on their turn, so that I have, I don't have to discard more cards. Plague Stinger, alright. I mean... Okay, Reprieve is good, we need that. Going Truth on Ring is some Teferi on Ring energy compared to what like Control normally does. Our opponent is just waiting here. All right. I mean, this can't be fun from their perspective. Okay, we draw more mana. So we can start with. Oops. We can start with a ritual. And I can go Case. Then I can go Ritual. Go Ritual. And then Ritual. And then Ritual. And then Ritual. Bolt them in the face. And then Grape Shot them. And then reprieve my Grape Shot. Echoing Truth if anything goes wrong. Our opponent is a good sport. They say GG's. Say GG's. Alright, I'll credit to our opponent for being a very good sport after we played the ring 4 turns in a row. Alright, so let's see how the next round goes. Okay, so round number 3. Revealing our Kahira. This is not exciting, but I think it is a keep. And we do have Reprieve. We have 2 lands because remember we have the Spikefield Hazard. And hopefully get to play a Case and then maybe loop something with Past in Flames. We also are on the play, so we can maybe leverage these Reprieves a little bit better, sort of tempo out any turn 2 play that they might have. Our opponent is maybe going to be confused by turn 1 Spikefield, turn 2 Hallowed Fountain. But let's see. Also, Kahira into Spikefield is probably a little bit of a head scratcher. Again, I think I said this earlier, but it's not worth trying to bluff something so hard that you end up sort of messing up what you were going to do in the first place. Okay, so we pick up a ring. That's excellent. Reprieve is now online. Our opponent is playing Hardened Scales, it looks like. So maybe they have a 2-drop here that we reprieve, draw another land, Case, or I don't know, something like that. That's the idea. If they actually go for just this buff, that will be a little bit annoying because I need to find something to I need a land really. So I do want to cycle one of these reprieves. Okay. Alright, so we reprieve this. Okay, Bolt is a pretty good pickup. The ring is not a good pickup there. I think we need to pass and just go for the reprieve again. This is definitely a bit unfortunate. So we drew a few cards, but no land. We do have the Bolt on this Savaz next turn, potentially, after reprieving whatever it is that we can reprieve. Probably the Patchwork again. So that will leave them with nothing in play. Then they're going to play the Patchwork, and hopefully we're casting rings by then. Okay, so they go for the Patchwork. Again, we go for the reprieve. You pick up another Bolt, which I mean is kind of good. Choose this boss to keep, and they're just buffing up by a counter, which does make it more susceptible to our Bolt, which is nice, but again, we really need another land here. Oh, that's tricky. Because now, I mean, I think we have to double Ritual out the ring. Because if we don't do that, what are we doing? But now we need to draw land with this ring, otherwise we're basically done. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And we can still kill the Sabaz, which is kind of nice, but the problem then is going to be, yeah, they have this Patchwork in play. These counters are going to go onto the Patchwork. which is bad. That's very bad. So maybe we're... these bolts are not what we need. That's also bad. Okay, I mean, there's some lands. So, I mean, if we can live this turn, maybe we can next turn, like, draw another land, play the ring. I think consider is not needed here. Case could turn into a Case Past in Flames type of loop, so I am keeping that. Archbound Ravager. And I could kill the Zabaz now. That doesn't really help me. They just put counters on the... I think maybe actually it does double our modulars. I am going to kill the Zabaz now. So, okay. Yeah, so they put counters on that, but the counters aren't doubled. Ravager could like double counters and then bring them to Zabaz. So I'm basically figuring we'll take a big hit here, but I don't think it'll be a lethal one. And then again, we have another ring next turn. And then we basically have to win the turn after that. Yeah, so we'll take 6. We have a land on top. We're not fetching because we need this land. This does take us down to 6, 5, 4, 3 with the other fetch. A Ballista could actually be a problem. Yeah, Ballista could be a big problem. We're gonna go Island. Draw some cards with the ring. Is there any way we can win here? If we like Case, Ritual? No, there's not. There's some case to be made for ritualing the ring, because and we'll do another non-damaging there. There could be a case to be made for ritualing the ring, because then we can hold up. Well, actually, no, we would have had to fetch a like Steam Vents there. Then if they play a Ballista, they can't just like load the Ballista up with counters, or else we can kill it in response. We can just sort of hold up always 1 red mana. Actually, I think that was maybe a mistake. I should have fetched a red source, even taking the 2 more damage, and then ritualed the ring. As it stands, so I could ritual Ace. That doesn't really do anything. Bolt. I could kill the Ravager. I could ritual kill the Ravager. Yeah, maybe that's the play. Because this way, I get to... I mean, they can only play the Ballista with 2 counters. If I take 1 damage from my ring and then 2 from the Ballista, I can be alive. I'm going to keep the new one. I'm going to wait to see what they do before I, decide what I'm playing. And they could have, I guess, like Ravager / extra Ballista or something like that. That would be bad. I would like to be able to make some mana with the Scalding Tarn next turn, because as it stands, I don't really have a plan for winning next turn. I need rituals. Soul Cauldron. I mean, that's okay. They're passing to combat, which is good, because these cards don't really matter in the yard. Boz, Ravager. Okay, so no Ballista. Bolt is a decent pickup. And we do, so we'll lose 1 life here down to 4. We could fetch shock to 1 if we do. Prismatic Ending. And we'll draw some more cards with the ring first. Actually, I should have probably fetched first. And I can play another ring, I guess. Do I have better? I mean, I can't do anything with Past in Flames. So I think it's just Tarn. Play another ring. If I have to, I can fetch shock, kill a Ravager that's going to have counters on it. Or fetch shock, kill a Ballista that's going to have counters on it. And I can still do that while I still have protection. Or if they don't have a Ballista, then I can draw on the end step, because fetch shock will put me to 1. We don't need a second case, so we can ditch that. Double bolt. We could have the capacity to cast 6 bolts next turn, probably. But that doesn't really do anything if I can't get the last 2 damage in somehow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So we have all of our bolts. Opponent got Soul Cauldron going, and we are just chaining together rings, which is nice. Protection from everything. Attacking, but we have protection from everything. Okay, so first of all, we can fetch a tapped land. So I'm going to get a Thundering Falls. Get a little bit of Surveil in. We're going to graveyard that. How are we going to graveyard that, actually? Yeah, we're going to graveyard that. And we'll draw a card, which will put us to 2. We get 2 more cards, plus our draw step. Alright, Pyretic Ritual is mana. That's important. Grape Shot. Grape Shot is huge. Alright, so we have 5 mana. So if I case Pyretic up to 4, Past in Flames, Pile of Rituals, I can so I think that probably does it. So case Pyretic. Piff. I'm down to 1 mana floating. And I do die if they have like a Boseiju or something. Is there a world where I can beat a Boseiju though? I don't think so. Ace Pyretic. Piff down to 1. Then I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana after that. 4 bolts is down to 5 mana. Or actually I could Grape, Flashback, Piff, Grape. Yeah, that is just enough damage. So the only concern is, am I just dead to a Boseiju? So do I have the win without case? So I Pyretic to 6, Piff down to 2, and then I have 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. And then I have 4 bolts and a Grape Shot. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 rituals, 5 Past in Flames, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 4 bolts, and then the great. Yeah, so I do just have the win without case. So I'm going to do the version that doesn't have case, because this way we don't die to a Boseiju. I mean, they can actually, they can exile a card from our yard. So if they exile a ritual, do we still get it? I didn't calculate this. Maybe I can play the case post. Post Piff. So if I like ritual, no, that's not going to work. This actually does take away 1 of my bolts. So, all right, so let's say I Pyretic Ritual. Say Pyretic Ritual again. Okay, now that resolved, so now I'm just in the clear, because now I can respond to the Soul Call. It might have been okay anyway. I'm not going to worry about going back to calculate it now. Definitely feel free to go calculate it in the comments if you want. All right. So that should do it. Storm count 11, 2 life. Yeah. Yeah, I should have obviously calculated that. I just kind of completely forgot about the Agathis hitting our graveyard. So, what do they have? I mean, ending is good. We can remove any sort of Hardened Scales itself. Brotherhood's End wipes their board. That's pretty nice. Echoing Truth, maybe. Preve was pretty decent there, but it's, I think, usually not that great. Spell Pierce is not what we need. Echoing Truth can be good. I could also think about Born Upon the Wind in response to like a Ballista trying to kill us on upkeep after Ring, maybe. Although they would maybe stack the Ballista beforehand, so it's maybe actually not that good. I feel like there is definitely a world where we like go off in response on our upkeep, though. Do I want that? Not sure. Inscription, I think no. Truth, yes. Cleansing Wildfire, I mean, I can hit like an Ink Moth, but I don't think that's like good enough for me to really want it. On the draw, Valakut Awakening is maybe a little less exciting. Could play like an extra. Maybe we play one more. Go like this. We figure we try and eat the Zabaz and the Hardened Scales with our endings. We can also eat Soul Cauldron with ending, which is pretty nice. That hand, I mean, we had a little bit of a clunky time. Here, I mean, we have removal, we have lands. We do need to draw something to do with these lands, but that's where Surveil lands are the best. So we'll keep it. Our opponent is mulling to 6. We do have turn 1 ending if they have like a turn 1 Scales or something. Although I'd kind of like to maybe save this to line it up with Soul Cauldron. So if they have like turn 1 Sabaz, then we can just bolt it. Basically, I probably won't play this Archive on Stirrings. That is a reason that I would play this Archive on turn 1. Although, if they... Yeah, because either I will ending or I will bolt next turn in all likelihood. So, yeah, we can get Archive working on a way to, like, find the ring or something. So they find Ozolith. Maybe I need to ending plus bolt, but in that case it would be ending on 1. So I would be relatively okay. Alright, so Archive. Alright, let's find the ring. Like I say that like so many times over the course of this video. But, I mean, there's a reason for it. It's because the deck is sort of built around the ring. Hey, look at that. Sometimes you just get that lucky. Or sometimes you're just blessed. The card gods have smiled on us. They've decided that they will gift us with the One Ring. Surely nothing can go wrong when the One Ring is gifted to someone. No dark intentions or taking over the world or anything like that. No, not at all. Alright. In the meantime, we will continue to develop our land. Our opponent has an Arcbound Ravager, which is something we will want to Lightning Bolt. Or actually, we probably want to Spikefield Hazard this. It does take away one of our lands, but I kind of like Spikefielding this because then it's exiled and then they can't Soul Cauldron it back. Do I like taking away the land though? I mean, it is just extra removal. Okay, yeah, I'm into spike fielding this. So I'm gonna get a steam vents. Let's take that out. And we can't really hold up ending here, but I mean, ending can potentially hit if they like needle Ozolith. Damping Sphere. I mean, we can kill Damping Sphere, and we kind of have to. Does mean that Saga potentially fetching out like Needle will be a little bit rough, but there's just not a world where we beat Damping Sphere, so we have to kill that. We're looking for another ending to line up with whatever they get off of the Saga. Because I'm expecting like a Haywire Might or... Well, Haywire Might I can bolt, so that would be okay. What do I actually want here as far as my lands go? I'm going to just get the basic. I would have gotten a Steam Vents if we had another Steam Vents, but we don't. So do I want Case? And or do I want Preordain? I don't want Case. I think I don't want Preordain either. I think I just want a land. It's not a land. I have this interesting dilemma of like, if I can play the ring next turn, do I play the ring next turn? Figuring they're probably going to get a... What's it called? Okay, Soul Guide Lantern I don't care about. We have one card that cares about our graveyard. Yeah, you can exile the Prismatic Ending. That's totally fine. I feel like it's... I mean, an advantage of this deck has been that a lot of decks try to attack the graveyard when the graveyard honestly barely matters to us. I mean, okay, so they're going to play... Funny enough, I could actually like burn all of my rituals +1 upon their end to play One Ring on their turn. What I was saying was, yeah, I mean, it's okay. So they have a construct, but depending on what they get, I'm hoping they get Haywire Might here. Pithing Needle would be the bigger problem. I'll probably cycle this Born Upon the Wind depending on what they do. Welding Jar. Okay. That's a sizable hit, but there's no real other threat happening unless they have... Oh no. Do this. Do we have... Oh, I'll save the bolt for the Grape Shot turn, probably. I mean, maybe we're just going to have a big burn turn next. Alright, we're playing the ring. Draw. Preordain is kind of not what we need. We have a bunch of mana. Well, a little bit of mana. A bunch of cards. We need to do something next turn, though. I mean, nothing that they haven't played does anything right now, so that's good. I mean, they could sack the Soul Guide to draw a card, I guess. They have their own ring. Oh, it's a Bliss on 2. Yeah, that's not really that scary. It's like we're probably just in a spot where we have to win next turn anyway, so... And we could find Brotherhood's End, I guess. That would be decent. I guess they can regenerate Ballista, though. Ballista doesn't immediately kill us. Another ring, I mean, okay. Scalding Tarn. Alright, so now I need to do some math. So we have 4 mana, 5, 6 mana. So we could Grape, Rit, Bolt, Preordain. Or Bolt, so, alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spells. So Grape Shot would be worth 7 damage. 3 bolts would be worth a total of a total of 9 damage, so this is not enough damage. I'm going to get a snow-covered island. Play another copy of the One Ring. Now next turn they could put another counter on Ballista, but it would still be only at 3 counters. So I'd take 3 damage plus 1 damage from my ring. So I'm okay with going for this here. Oh, I absolutely should not have done that. That was a mistake. I should have waited until after so I don't have to discard. That was actually a big mistake. I think I do have to discard the Spikefield Hazard now, but that was, yeah, that was bad. If we lose by like 1 spell and we had mana left over for it, that's entirely on me. Add a counter? Look, it's add a counter. Oh, it's another Ballista. Okay, so they have 4 damage worth on Ballistas. So we're going to take 1 damage down to 8. So, I mean, they could shoot us down to 4. We do actually have Ritual Splice Ritual, but that does cost us our Preordain. Doesn't do anything. So, they have no cards in hand. So, 8. Ending, I mean, ending is not great here. I mean, we could ending a Ballista, I guess. Okay, another Desperate Ritual is very interesting, as is a Brotherhood's End. So, if I had to, I could Brotherhood's End and wipe the board, leaving them with nothing. So, do I have lethal is the question. So 4, 5, 6, 7. I could actually get to 8 mana. Although, wait. If I leave, so I could potentially ending plus Preordain. And then this becomes 3, 4, 5. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 6, 7, 8 spells. Grape Shot's worth 9 damage. Plus 3 bolts is... plus 3 bolts is 9 damage. So I'm a little short. So, but could, yeah, so I need to preordain. If I find a ritual or a Morphos, I think that might, I'm either 1 or 2 off. I need to actually calculate. These aren't going to do it. That's also not going to do it. So I think the play then is we start out with a ritual. So they can hit us to 4 with these 2 ballistas. Our ring will take us to 2. If they draw like another ballista, they kill us. I'm figuring we can ending whatever is after. Okay, so if I bother, I think it's just this. Destroy all artifacts with mana value 3 or less. I could have had it if I kept that Spikefield Hazard. So we should have won this game had I played correctly. I made a mistake that has the potential of costing us. Hopefully it doesn't. I can draw a card with Soul Guide. So basically get 2 cards to find another Ballista, or I guess they could find Creature plus Soul Cauldron. Alright, I mean, we'll see. It's their Jarring Soul Guide. Yeah, they're shooting us for 4. Maybe, I think we should try to potentially ending their Soul Guide. Well, because I'm thinking, will they crack this for a card? So we could go for it here. Yeah, I think it actually is worth ending the Soul Guide here. Yeah, because it regenerated and it tapped. Alright, so I mean, we've got to win next turn. Like, have to, I mean, not like we have it like guaranteed or something. Which means we do need to find some cards, but we have the ring, which is a pretty good place to be. Oh, they have the ring. That might kill us. We need to find another ring now. Born Upon the Wind is too slow. Did I bring in both Borns? I don't think I did. I didn't. Oh, that's actually crushing. Yeah, so I just need to find another copy of the ring. That's all there is to it. So, I mean, we've got Preordain. Okay, we do. We do. Top that. Top the ring. Tap Talloed Fountain. I think it just has to be not Ballista. And the question is, well, no, we can't. I was like, do we burn a ritual to play around Ballista by being able to shoot it down, but we can't. Is there any way we can? No, we would have needed to have another red source. We just don't. Just don't. So we do have kind of several things we need to fade now. Case is not going to be. If we lose this, we're going to have to play fast. And decide to draw potentially. So they have 4 cards. There are certainly several things that could kill us now. We need them to just have like, okay, Automaton is great. That's like the least scary thing they could have. This also takes Ballista off the table unless it's land Ballista. Soul Cauldron would get us. Okay, so I don't think they have any sort of flash 1 damage. So we'll draw more cards. See what they've got. And if we had to, we could fish for a reprieve. Although, did I cut all the reprieves? We still have 2. Thinking about something. What are they thinking about? Sagering a land, maybe? Okay, so we've got... Alright, so we'll play a Desperate Ritual. Can't splice this one because we only have 1 red. Now we can splice. Play another Desperate Ritual. I consider. Don't need another consider. Erratic Ritual's good. Morphos. Add light. Another Morphos. Blue. Okay, Echoing Truth is maybe something. Bolt them. Bolt them. Grape Shot them. So that's 10, and we have another bolt in hand. Assuming all of these resolve, I'm actually going to Grape Shot them, though, with the intention of bolting in response if needed. This way we sort of keep more instant speed stuff up. So let's see. All right, so we get there against Hardened Scales. Definitely some close games where we were living on the edge, relying on the ring to keep us alive. A very timely finding of the ring after they top decked the ring in that second game there. But we pick it up against Scales, and let's go to the next round. All right, so round number 4, we lose the die roll this time. Our hand is decent, if a little bit slow. I'm going to keep this. You know, we have some reprieves to maybe buy some time. Reprieve is definitely worse on the draw. Our opponent mulls to 6. Sunbaked Canyon, probably burn. That is not what we want to see when I just said that our hand is a little bit slow. So we need like a bolt or something for removal, basically right away. Thundering Falls, we keep that. Pyretic Ritual. I think I am going to keep that because I think I need a turn 3 ring. I do have my land lined up for next turn, and then we can potentially consider into another land. But we're probably dead this game. Our hand is just not a fast hand. And burn is seems to be off to a pretty fast start here. Although they did mull a little bit. And, I mean, they only have 1 creature. So we're at 13. They have 3 cards in hand. Play the Jawari Ruins. And I'm just going to consider now. I'm not sure what they could have that I'm super worried about. I'm going to ship that. That's actually a little bit unfortunate. Because if they had like a really aggressive turn there, like triple burn spell or something like that, I would consider just conceding. So they have Skull Crack. Yeah, so I mean we're taking a lot here. We're gonna go to 6. Yeah, I mean, okay. Alright, I think this is looking bad. We can probably pack this up in a second. Got Preordain. I mean, doesn't matter because we just have to get this. We fetch shock down to 3. What are we doing? I mean, yeah, this is over. This is just over. And hopefully they just have like 2 lands or something, so I'll at least give them the chance to. Okay, I mean, that's it. All right, so I mean, round or game 1 against Burn there, definitely a rough time. We're on the draw, and then they just kind of had pretty fast hand, so that's not going to work for us. So more removal is good. Fire Inscription, yes, because we kind of need to be control here and just like wipe out what they're doing. Ace, no. One Upon the Wind, actually maybe. Think about that. Brotherhood's End is also a maybe. Echoing Truth is not really what we need to be doing. Falcon Awakening, Best in Flames, also a little bit. Spellstone I need. Spell Pierce is good, Bolt is good. Spike Field is a little bit iffy, but I do need lands. I don't need 3 copies of the ring. 4 copies of the ring. Yeah, the ring is maybe a little bit iffy. I think I like this. Our plan is just jam a Fiery Inscription and then control the game long enough to kill them with the Fiery Inscription and like a mini natural Grape Shot. I almost said natural Tendrils. This is not Legacy as much as I wish it was Tendrils. If Tendrils was present, I'd be messing around with like Amulet of Vigor, Lotus Field Beseech, lists. I did mess around with that a little bit, but I never really got anywhere. I will keep this. I feel like this is not great, but it's Breathe. Nah. I really need a the thing that plays the Goblin Guide. The 2 damage thing. Fiery Inscription. Heroic Ritual. Not what we need. So I'm gonna play the Spike Field to have my 3rd land come in untapped. I'm gonna bolt this Goblin Guide after we see what it reveals and attacks. Preserve life a little bit. They have a Lava Spike, sure. Lightning Bolt. Alright, so we'll bolt this Goblin Guide. Draw a bolt. Or 12. Otawara. I think there's actually a case to be made that we should Morphos now, just to try and find a Fire Inscription if we possibly can. I'm gonna go blue, red. Ending. Not what we need. If I drew like a Preordained too, I could have like Preordained looking for an inscription. Ring is definitely risky here because they could have instant speed burn that they unload with. Our hand has just not really shaped up. Honestly, we need them to have like another Goblin Guide, but yeah, I don't want. We have to kill that. We're in trouble. And they have 2 cards, but Spell Pierce could maybe do something. But like taking a turn off to draw Spell Pierce is absolutely not what we need. Forest Charm. I mean, sure. What's he got? Skewer. Can Spell Pierce that. But we're super dead. I mean, we need multiple turns. We're not even close to winning, and we're at 3 life against the burn deck. We're super, super dead. Don't need these. That is also not what we need. We don't even have white mana for this ending if they like play a creature. Rift Bolt, alright. Can we answer it? I don't know why they wouldn't just play that, but okay, sure. I mean, maybe they were afraid of another Spell Pierce. Okay, that's fair, actually. Alright, so we kind of got ran over by burn. Sometimes it happens. Let's try round 5. Alright, so round number 5. And our opening hand is... It's like kind of okay. I think with a Scryland, this could... Or a Surveil land off of this fetch, and maybe turning this Valakut Awakening into like other cards. I think it is worth a keep. I'm not super excited about it though. Let's see how things go. Opponent leads on Leyline. So our opponent is some... Oh, wait, did I just skip my turn? Oh no, my opponent is up first. Okay. So leading on Wooded Foothills. So we have a Scalding Tarn. And I'm not feeling so good about this. They revealed Jagathos, so they are Zoo. Okay, so they do have Neshoba Brawler, so that's like the least scary thing they could play on 2. Definitely far and away their least scary turn 2 play. We can potentially just like kill it with Grape Shot if we have to here. I'm going to get a Meticulous Archive. And depending on what we see and what we draw, Reprieve. Ooh, Reprieve is interesting. Do I need a Reprieve? I could take a hit in order to be able to play it. Alternately, I go like Morphos Ritual, Grape it. I'm gonna Graveyard this. I hope I draw like a Bolt or something so I don't have to burn this Grape Shot. Okay, Past in Flames is not bad. Past in Flames is definitely not bad. I think I have to kill this though, which means I need to burn sort of Grape plus Ritual. But I mean, our opponent did Maul, and Leyline is kind of a dead card too. I mean, if they get the big thing, then it's a problem. But if they don't, then it's okay. So here we can get blue, red, in case we draw... Actually, no, we should get blue, white. We could kill this with ending, draw that instead, which we might do. I don't know if we're going to that actually, but maybe. I don't really know what they're thinking about. I don't think they can have anything here. Just kill this. Like I said, I mean, they have 3 cards, so yeah, blue and white. Spell Pierce is not good. That is definitely not what we need. We may be in a position next turn to play the Valakut Awakening, or else maybe get Kahira into our hand. Hopefully they just have like a hand that's like pretty heavy on interaction behind this. Having this Past in Flames with like some good stuff in our graveyard already is nice. We know we can't reprieve Grapeshot out of the yard, but okay, another Neshoba Brawler. I mean, okay. So Poetic Ritual. Poetic Ritual is like not super exciting. I could Valakut Awakening, get rid of like the Pierce, Valakut itself, maybe 1 land. So if I do that, then maybe try to go for some sort of Past in Flames loop. Playing this, yeah, alright, we'll try this. Pierce, Steam Vents. Keep the Ritual on the Past in Flames. Doesn't matter the order, we're not getting back to it. Another Ritual, fetch land, reprieve, I mean, maybe? I don't think we're getting there just with what's in our yard, but if they don't do a lot this turn, and then we can like hold up a reprieve and pass 1 more turn, maybe we can like string something together. Our best draw would probably be like, well, the ring, but if barring that, like probably Morphos. Question is, what are they going to hit us with here? Nothing. Preordain. So I'm going to not go for it here. We're going to preordain. We're going to... Do I want that extra land? Actually, maybe I do. I'm going to top that, and then I'm going to top this Morphos, and I can think about whether I want the land. We'll pass. And so if I get the land, I have 5, 6, 7 mana. I can piff. Okay, bolt us to 9, sure. So it can hit us to 4, but if they go for a Tribal Flames, then we just have the reprieve. So I'm hoping that's what happens here, and then they're tapped out, and then we get a window. Okay, so we reprieve this. Now the question is, do we want the land? I think maybe not. Yes, I think I'm gonna fetch a Surveil land here. Get a little bit of extra selection. Take that. So we reprieve this. We've got a chance. Consider, okay. I mean, it's a start. It's definitely a start. We'll play Poetic Ritual. I mean, I don't know what they could have here. I don't think they can have Force Negation. Maybe they have Force Negation? I would be surprised. Blue and red. Ending. We could ending this brawler, but they do just have the thing in hand again. So the main benefit to ending would be just if we needed it for the storm count. By the thing in hand, I mean Tribal Flames. Consider first. We have the 2 mana for after the Past in Flames. So, I mean, we do just get to Ritual up. Bolt is a decent pickup. Alright, I mean, we're trying. Do they have Force? Some zoo lists do play 4. No, but they have Giganta. They can't have Force. No, there's no chance. So let's see. I don't know what they could really have here. What are they thinking about? So we'll have 3, 4, 5, 6 mana after this. Grape Shot. And we have the Bolt. Okay, I mean, we're not... I don't think we just cleanly have it yet, but we have real chances. What I need is for Manamorphose to cooperate and not accidentally make the wrong color of mana like it has been, or like where I pick one color of mana and then it just is like, okay, yeah, you're making a red plus whatever one color you picked. Like 2 blue. The ring is a potential fallback option. Okay. Oh, Ferrari Disruption, Steam Vents. I think these are things well, Steam Vents I could play. That represents another mana, so I think I will actually take the Steam Vents. Shock it in, go to 1. I've had a lot of games ending at 1 life this time. Preordain again. Spike Field. Does that do it? I mean, wait, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then 17. I think that is exactly enough. So I think I can keep Spike Field. Oh, I have Morphos also. Actually, I should have played that Morphos. That was keep making red. Red and red. Can Morphos again. Red and red. Now we can bolt them. Spikefield Hazard them. And then Grape Shot them. And there's like extremely niche upside to like playing Consider first or leaving the mana up for the Consider. I mean, what are the chances they have 0 mana life gain in their main deck as Zoo versus what are the chances they have like Surgical Extraction in their main deck as Zoo that they didn't use already? Both are just 0 basically. Alright, so we pick up a win over Zoo in game 1. I thought we were losing that. Another tight game where we won on 1 life. Alright, so let's go to sideboarding. Let's see what happens. So against Zoo, I mean, Case is good. Ending is good. Bolt, yes. Wildfire, not really. Echoing Truth can be good, maybe. Brotherhood's End is kind of okay. Fire Inscription I think I do want. I want that over Case. Case is not as exciting. I definitely want the Ring. Reprieve is kind of... Oh, Spell Pierce can be good. I'm actually going to keep Spell Pierce and trim or at least a Reprieve. Even 2. Well, the Reprieve is good with Inscription, though. Valkut Awakening is not needed. Especially on the draw. Maybe I don't need Echoing Truths. Go like this. Again, we're trying to jam Inscription. And then play an interactive game. So we're revealing Giganta. And Spell Pierce is relevant against like their stubs or maybe a Leyline Binding or something. Really, it's for trying to make sure that like the Ring resolves. Bolt is good, Grape Shot is good, Ending is good, Preordain, good. So the main thing is just if they have like Leyline Scion, I'm a little bit left out high and dry. But if they have anything else, I think we're in okay shape. So we'll go Hallowed Fountain, pay 2 life, Preordain. And Desperate Ritual Grape Shot. That's interesting. I mean, double Grape with Ritual is a way to close a game. I think I actually am going to keep these. I know that I'm basically relying on this preordain to continue hitting my land drops, figuring that this is a plan for trying to end the game. Our opponent's got Flooded Strand. I'm worried that this could be a Scion. Hopefully it's in the Shoba Brawler. Tautoro Kabu. Okay, we can take that because we can ending it. So we go Tarn. Fetch. We do have to fetch and shock here. So I'm going to get these steam vents. And then we ending. And hopefully now it's like a Nishoba Brawler that we can bolt, so then we can like bolt preordain. Okay, another Kabu, that's not good. Ritual is decent. I'm gonna go for the preordain. At what point does it become worthwhile to just like try to stockpile these? I don't think it's now. I think I bottom. Okay, land is good. Alright, so we're gonna take a hit here from the Kavu. We can hold up like Pierce if we need to, otherwise we have like Bolt also. We'll get a Surveil land, probably Thunderous, whatever, and try to do something with that. Okay, they get Temple Garden. Or Representing Reprieve, which may make them a little bit more reluctant to cast like a creature or something. Card a card and draw a card. So let's see what they loot away. It is another Triome. Okay. Thing I'd be happy about is if they just like put Gigantha in their hand. They could definitely have like multiple tribal flames and kill us here, right? That would be unfortunate. And we do have Spell Pierce, I guess. Okay, so they can Meddling Mage. What are they naming? Probably gonna have to bolt that, unless they name Bolt, but assume they'll name Grape Shot. I think Meddling Mage is really not very good against us. Yeah, I mean, that's just like whatever. Bottle, sure. So we'll fetch on the end step here, and we can think about what we're going to do based with this bolt, whether we're going to use it now or later, depending on what we surveil and find. So I definitely don't need a Spell Pierce. And we are going to bolt now. Okay, so that's info that they probably don't have a stub. I think there's a decent chance they would have stubbed that if they had it. We can play the inscription here, take 8, go to 1. Try to make something happen next turn. If they're Tribal Flames, though, they just kill us. But even holding up Spell Pierce doesn't stop Tribal Flames. So we just have to hope that they don't have Tribal Flames. I think it's unlikely, and I think we're definitely dead here. But this is the play that gives us a chance to win the game, rather than the like try not to lose play. I mean, they could certainly fetch Bolt us. They could certainly have Tribal Flames. I think I would be happiest. I could have Dash Dragavan. I mean, lands now Scion would be good because it's too slow. Brawler, anything like that really is what we're hoping to see. This feels a little bit like they didn't have another 2-drop though, because I feel like they would have played it last turn. So then the question is, what is in their hand? It could be Leyline Binding. Leyline Binding would be bad in that it would take out our inscription, but it wouldn't directly kill us. But it might as well kill us because we're not winning off of this. Let's see what they get. 3 lands and then like this pile of stuff. Okay, so that's not a red source. Alright, I mean, what do you draw? And they'll loot with the Kavu when they attack, so that even if they don't have it now, they do get another chance to potentially draw something. I don't even think we kill it. We need to draw, like, Manamorphose off the top or something, too, if we want to have a realistic shot. Because they looted away a Brawler. Do you have the Tribal Flames? Looks like yes. Alright, well, it's a Bolt, so that'll kill us. Yeah, I mean, even if we untap there with the Inscription, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage, which is not enough. Amorphos would represent 4 damage, so that actually would have been enough. 15? Actually, 15 might have. I'm not sure if 15 was enough. I have to look back. Okay, I like Reprieve a little bit better on the play. A little less into Spell Pierce on the play, maybe. Because here, I mean, I can sort of more aggressively stop the creatures. Echoing Truth is... No, I just want to be fast. Faster, just jam like a what's it called? Fire Inscription. 2 Fire Inscriptions. On the play, 1 land. I can get a Surveil land. I do have some interaction. I don't like keeping this, but I'm going to keep it. I think this is maybe a little bit of a trap hand. I'm really, really banking on a Surveil land doing good things on turn 1. Like, even if they play a 1-drop, I just have to fetch a Surveil. I think this maybe kills us, but this is a hand that can definitely win the game if we find the lands for it, so taking the risk. I think we should get probably the white-blue Surveil, because if we miss, we'll want to ending something, I think. Although, actually, it depends on what they do. Are they going to get a Triome? Are they going to get a turn 1 play? Okay, it's a Ragavan. Okay. So, let's fetch. I think we actually probably bolt this, because ending can be used to take out things that bolt can't as far as their 2-drops go. Okay, we have to ditch that. Oh. I mean, we knew the risks. We're still in it if we can draw one like next turn. So we also do now have Ritual Inscription, or like Hold Up Reprieve, or Ending Kill something. But yeah, I mean, I still don't necessarily regret this keep. We have, besides the 1 land we had in our hand, and then 2, so we have 16 lands in the deck. Okay, okay. Kavu. Do I ritual out the inscription? I think we actually do. I think I just need to start making inscriptions happen. This is going to hit us. We need to find a white land now as the next step so that we can ending this Kavu. I'm definitely thinking we're probably still losing this, though. We need them to have, like, no follow-up creatures, and I think that's just very unlikely when they just have, like, 6 cards in hand. Land is a start, but they have, like, Tribal Flames. Sits us to 15. And maybe they just have, like, all Tribal Flames. I mean, okay, yeah, you can eat the Morphos. I'm very happy that they're doing that and not looting, because they think the graveyard matters. It's like a Brawler. Oh, another Kavu. We're in big trouble. I need to preordain here, looking for a land. These don't work. Okay, I mean, and now I have to ending one. So we can get the Sacred Foundry. Yeah, Sacred Foundry. They are at 10. So if I can draw like runner Metamorphoses, maybe we get there. We do also live Kavu hit plus Tribal Flames. They would need 2 pieces of burn to kill us. And they could also have like Dash Dragavan or something. Alright, yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah, they're at 10. So they're going for the loot. Okay. Yeah, so I mean... Oh, they discard a Bolt. That's crazy. Do they just have all of the burn and just 1 red source? Feels like that's maybe what's happening here. Yeah, so they have Tribal Flames. I mean, okay. I think they have a stub is what they have. That's not going to do it. Yeah, we missed the land drop, and I think that probably just killed us. Set us back a turn in an otherwise, spot where we okay. If we draw Metamorphose, I mean, this Grape represents 4, the Morphose is 2. That's still not enough on its own. So if we had, like, Metamorphose... Okay, so we ended up 32. We kept a kind of risky hand in that last round against Zoo. I think that was definitely winnable. Maybe we should have mauled, but I think we took our risks, and we were kind of close despite how kind of rough that felt. Overall, I mean, the match against Burn felt not close. A lot of our wins did feel close, but again, we're basically playing a control deck, so we're looking to, interact, manipulate cards, and then win more slowly. But chaining the ring is definitely very powerful. I liked a lot of the tweaks that I've made here. I think some of the interaction package is not necessarily tuned correctly. So I would definitely Valakut's Awakening felt like very mediocre, in particular, and not that that's interaction, but still. Spell Pierces, I feel like were kind of mediocre as well. Not 100% sure on those, but we didn't really hit the best matchups for them either. We hit matchups that were more reliant on Prismatic Ending. There's definitely a world where like we keep Prismatic Endings and then we hit like matchups that don't care about that. So it's kind of a toss-up. Other cards that could be considered, I had a version of this where I was trying Fire Ice and no Valakut's Awakening. The Spell Pierces in the sideboard. The Fire Ice was the original reason I swapped to Kahira, but I think this list overall is a step in probably the right direction for this sort of bearless case build. I also might be interested in second Past in Flames, or at least some other way to access the graveyard. It feels like several times Past in Flames would be a very good draw if I've had like a long grindy game and then I want to be able to win out of the yard. Otawara could be another thing that maybe seems not essential. I've not used this in a long time. Other than that, I kind of like, I like the silences. Born Upon a Wind could maybe go down to 1. I feel like I do like it as sort of a trick, but you really never want the second one. Kahira, even though we didn't actually use it, I think the bluff value is definitely valuable. There is the alternative of bluffing Jegantha if you're not playing Fire Ice, but this deck looks like has the potential of looking like a blue-white or Jeskai control deck for the first like 3 turns or something, or 4 turns of the game, and so Kahira kind of helps sell that better, because if you play like Jegantha and then you play Meticulous Archive, something looks suspicious. Okay, so the flip side of that though is that Kahira, they know that we're not playing bears, whereas Jegantha doesn't reveal that, because we could be playing bears with Jegantha. Okay, so I guess that's it for now with Jeskai Storm. I guess I'll call it. Hopefully you enjoyed. We will. I know that was a friendly, but this is still very much a work in progress. I'm still just testing and doing a bit of refining. So yeah, take it a little bit gentle if we're still brewing pretty heavily with this. Okay. I would encourage you guys to try this out. It's pretty fun. And if anyone has any ideas, definitely let me know in the comments. I'd be curious to hear them. Feel free to like and subscribe if you would continue, or if you'd like to continue to see my interesting mix of decks that I kind of pull out of my stable. Usually it's the most combo things that I feel like I can be doing aren't creature combo. All right, until next time, keep surprising people with Desperate Ritual and Pyretic Ritual after you've looked like a control deck for 5 turns. All right, bye.